Hello, hello! Welcome to our Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion playthrough. Here we are about to kick off Scenario 3, but before we do, we have a few pieces of business that carried over from Scenario 2, as well as some new rules and mechanics that we're going to be introducing this scenario. So let's get right into it. First off, after our last scenario, we collected some coins here, and also we got some treasure. The treasure was some additional coins for the demolitionists who would pick that up. And of course, our characters were able to take that treasure and go to the freshly opened shop and make some purchases. For the Void Warden, we purchased a heater shield. Essentially, when damaged by an attack, we gain one shield for the attack. And once we're done, we're going to flip that over, and then that we'll be able to use it again once we rest. And that's what that icon means. The demolitionists, on the other hand, had a little bit extra coin, so they were able to purchase two items here. We've got a healing potion and some studded leather armor. Yes, so after the last battle, demolitionist is like, if I'm going to be out in the front, I need some protection and I need some way to heal myself. So that covers the shop. The next new thing is that we actually introduced two new moves or two new actions to each of the heroes' decks here. So we've got Signs of the Void and Close to the Abyss for the Void Warden. And if you notice, we've got some new icons as well on these two moves. So we've got these little stars. That's experience, so we'll be tracking experience for this scenario. We also have Curse, which we'll get into, and Bless and Poison. We'll get into those as we play through the scenario. For the demolitionist, we've got Crushing Weight and Wind Up. Again, some chances to earn some experience, as well as a couple new mechanics that we will again get into as we progress. The baddies that we'll be fighting in this scenario are the Zealot and the Giant Viper. Here's a Zealot, a little closer look, and the Giant Viper. Two of the new rules that we'll be getting into, or the new conditions, are Wound and Poison. Wound is you suffer 1 damage at the start of each turn, and you remove that when healed, but you continue to take damage until you're healed. And the other is Poison. Now, Poison is that all attacks against you, they will gain advantage until you're healed, and you remove the poison when you're healed, but you don't actually heal any HP. So we'll definitely have to keep those two mechanics in mind as we progress through the scenario. It looks like they're definitely going to come into play. We have our two new move action decks here for our baddies. And this is what our board is going to look like. We've got our traps. We have a couple doors here. So we have 3 separate rooms that we'll be progressing through during this scenario. And then also now we have what is called difficult terrain. So these purple outline areas are difficult terrain, and what that means is that it will cost us 2 movement points to enter into the difficult terrain unless we have jump. Jump is another new mechanic. I'm not sure that any of our characters have jump, but essentially that just allows us to move through difficult terrain as if it was normal terrain. The next thing now is that we are introducing what they call city encounters. So city encounters happen at the completion of each scenario, and we essentially draw a city encounter from the deck here, and we just kind of make a decision and live by the outcome of that decision. Also, we have made some changes to our character cards here, our character sheets. We've keeping track of our gold, right? So the heater shield here, we had 27 gold for the Void Warden. That we spent 20 of it. We are down to 7. And then the demolitionist, well, he spent 35. He had 37. Boom. He's got 2 left. So this will help us keep track of our experience. Now that we're also keeping track of that, our leveling up, our perks, all that will come into play here moving forward. As you also may notice that our Quattro Demolitionist now has a name, Martini, in honor of my first subscriber, at least the first one that I could see. So if you're out there, Martini, this one's for you. We have now our Martini Demolitionist. I think that about does it for all of our new rules and mechanics for the scenario. Next up, we'll go ahead and read a little bit of the introduction, do a little bit of catching up on what brought us here story-wise, and then we'll just be ready to kick things off. See you in a minute. Okay, looks like we're ready to get into Scenario 3. I went ahead and selected our initial actions here for our two heroes. But before we flip over and see what the bad guys are going to do on their first action, let's go ahead and read the introduction. Now, if you remember correctly, we were ambushed on our way to the inn in the city of Gloomhaven by some vermlings. We handled that business and tracked them down to their hideout where we infiltrated, and they gave us the name of a man named Roland. So, that kind of sets the scene. After getting your fill of stew and plenty of rest at the Sleeping Lion, you start off early in the morning. The first order of business is looking for information on someone named Roland. He seemed to be making a trade out of buying fresh corpses, and you would like to know why. It's slow going at first, but you eventually find a pair of vermlings down in the sinking market who seem overly interested in cadaver disposal. After some rough persuasion, they cough up that they too are being paid by a man named Roland to deliver bodies. They even give you the drop-off location, some derelict ship at the old docks. You head down to the pier and look around. It doesn't take long to spot the suspicious vessel. Not only is it leaking some vile black liquid from the hull, but there are two men wearing robes standing guard outside the dock. They notice you, eyeing them, and begin making threatening gestures for you to move along. Looks like getting to the bottom of this is going to require cracking a few more skulls. So here we are. Scenario 3, the black ship, the dock, the two men wearing robes outside trying to keep us from looking any further into what's going on here. So let's see what they're going to do. Slide this over here. Basic Zealot, what are they going to do on their action? They're going to go on... Whoa, 19. Okay. So that's interesting. They're going to move and they're going to attack at a -1 and try and curse us. Now, that's early in this, and that is an early initiative. So I've lost my, or the game didn't come with the icon for the initiative token here for these zealots, and we're not dealing with vipers yet, so it looks like it's going to be the demolitionist, the zealots, and then the void wardens. Oof. All right, interesting. Okay, well, the demolitionist is ready to get to work here, so he is going to move and attack because he's, you know, not really within range. He's gonna move up to 4 spaces to, he wants to get right here, right in the middle, right in the mix of things, and then he's going to attack for 3 and add 2 attack and gain an experience if the target is next to the wall. Now, for the mechanics purposes, these double lines here are considered walls, so our zealot friend will technically be against a wall. So this is an attack of 5, and we gain an experience. So let's give our modifier cards here a little bit of a shuffle. Let's see what we do. Oh, I can't believe that they're going so early in the initiative. That's not ideal. Alright, +0, 5 damage to the bad guy here. Now he actually is at 6 health, so that means he's got 1 left. We'll just put a number 1 marker on there. And then also our demolitionist friend gains an experience. So we'll do that here. Just one. Alright, so not too bad. Punched him right in the face. His head bounced against the wall. 5 damage. Alright. So our bad guys here, they're not going to move. They're going to attack at a -1. So that's... they initially do 2 damage, so they're doing 1 damage. And they're both going to attack our demolitionist friend. He kind of charged in there, thinking he would come and do some business, hoping he would get the jump on him. Doesn't look like that's the case. So let's give another little shuffle and let's see how this goes. We will draw for the zealot, the first zealot here, number 1, right here against our friend. All right, so 1 damage and he's cursed. Ouch. Alright, 1 damage. So that brings him down. What are we at here? Oh, that's the wrong character. That brings our demolitionist down to a 7. Just for the sake of trying to keep everything on a screen here, I've kind of adjusted where everything's at. I've moved our health and experience trackers up to the top, but I've also added our character icons there on each one so we can kind of keep track of which one belongs to which of our characters. Alright, so we're going to draw for number 2 here, again against the -1. Okay, so that doesn't do any damage, but it's not a miss, so it does still curse our demolitionist. So that is 2 curses to our demolitionist. And what that does is we're going to shuffle 2 curse cards into his modifier deck here. And then if you pull a curse card, it acts like a miss. Now, when you do pull it, you do remove it. You don't add it back. But it does increase the chances of us missing attacks. So not ideal. We'll go ahead and move on to the Void Warden now. His turn. So what he wants to do is he wants to make one of the bad guys here attack the other bad guy. So you're going to force one enemy within a range of 3 to perform an attack 2. Now the only bad guy within range is this one here. So he's going to attack his other friend here. We're going to use the monsters modifier deck. So this is for 2 damage against number 2. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a -2. No damage. So then our other option here is we're going to force one ally to perform an attack of 4. And we're going to do it against... We're going to do it against the one that's already hurt, so that way we can try and get him out the way. So this would be using the Demolitionist hit modifier deck, which does now have 2 curses on it. So let me add those before we really get into it here. Okay, I found the curse cards. I've shuffled them in the Demolitionist deck here. 2 curses. Let's see, this was an attack of 4. Hopefully it's not a curse. Alright, +1, 5. Kind of a wasted, but that's okay. Wipes out this guy. He's gone. And we drop a coin. So now we just have this last bad guy here, this last guard that's guarding the door before we can move on to the rest of the scenario. So I'll go ahead and select our next 2 actions here for our heroes, and we'll continue. Alright, we are set up, ready for the next round. We've selected our action cards for our heroes. We'll be going on a 42 and a 70. Let's see what our remaining baddie is going to do. 27. So they are, wow, they are really wanting to just slap us around a little bit. They aren't wasting any time. We are not catching them off guard at all. So the first thing that they're going to do is heal 1. Well, this guy hasn't taken any damage, so he can't heal. He's going to move +1. They have a base move of 2, so that's going to be 3. and they're going to perform a ranged attack. Well, so the way that the rules dictate when they're trying to do a ranged attack is they don't want to be at disadvantage. So they are actually going to move out of combat in order to shoot at range and not be at disadvantage. So we're going to assume that he's going to move a little bit closer to us, but I do believe that Martini here is still going to be his focus, being as he's the one that's been doing all the damage. He is going to, again, shoot Martini right in the face for a -1 attack, base attack of 2. So that's a 1 damage at a range of 2, well within range. Let's see what he does. -1. Okay, so no damage, no curses, no other attributes. We do cycle that back through. So once that move is shown, we do shuffle the action deck here for the next turn. So we'll just do that now, and then we will go with the Demolitionist Martini. Let's see what he's going to do. So I gotta say, when we picked his actions, we didn't plan really on him needing to move. So we can't stun. Initially we had planned to stun our adjacent enemy, but now we're just gonna move within range here. So we'll do the base move action, and then we will attack for 3 with a muddle. So let's go ahead and pull that modifier. Attack for 3. +1. 4 damage. Not bad at all. So that's number 2. 4 damage. 3 and 4. So he's got 2 health left. Let's see. It would be great here if we could finish him. So originally we were planning on having to move within range, but he kind of came to us a little bit. We're gonna do a base attack with this card. So that's really what only happens here. Well, and we have to move within range, so we can move 4. So we're gonna move our 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna come on this side so we can pick up the coin here that his buddy dropped. The Void Warden's a little low on cash. He kind of spent it all on that shield. And then we're going to do a base 2 attack. He's got 2 health left. So really, we just really, we don't want a big miss here. That would be great if we could just finish this guy off. Come on, come on. Son of a biscuits. Okay, so we're at a 1. He's got 1 health left. Yeah, he's down to 5 damage. Did not finish him. He's a tough little son of a gun. So we'll just leave that 1 there. That's what he's got. And I guess we're just going to have to move to the next round. This is not ideal. Let me see what we've got here. So we're going to assume that we'll be able to finish this guy off and then move into the next room. And we really want to finish him off before we move into the next room. Let's see. So we'll go with another basic move and attack here for the Void Warden. We'll go on 15. Hopefully we can finish this guy off. And then the Demolitionist here. We'll do a base. Let's move. Oh, okay. Because we want to be able to move into. We want to be able to move into the room, so. We'll do a move and attack here. I don't know, and we'll go on a 20. I don't know if that's the right call or not, but we'll find out. Alright, Zealots, let's see what they're gonna do. Okay, attack +1. All right, going on a 46. That's good news for us. So first off, and then they're going to an attack +1 at a range of 2 with a muddle. +1 attack. That's significant damage if they go through with it. But hopefully we can finish this last guy off here before he gets a chance to act. However, when we do enter this room, any of the zealots that we kind of encounter will then get their turn. They're going to go last. So we do have to keep that in mind. But let's get on with it. The Void Warden is first. He's just going to do his basic attack on this card. Attack of 2. Void Warden. He's got 1 health left. Okay, boom. He is dead. Boom. Out of here. History. See you later. Bye-bye. Let's drop a coin. I think we're going to get that guy. But that's okay. And then we're going to move 3. So we did our base attack. And then we're going to move 3. I think, yeah, I mean, we need to progress here. We can't just dawdle about on the dock. So we're going to pop the door open. Once we open the door, we get to read the little text here. Section 1. So we open the door. As we burst into the cargo hold, a foul smell hits you in the face. A river of sticky black liquid flows through the ship, pouring between the various cracks in the hull. The source appears to be beyond the far door, but first you'll have to fight your way past more ruffians and their pets. Alright, so that was 1. We're going to go to... where do we want to do here? We're going to go right up to this trap here. That's 3. So that's our 3 moves. 1, 2, 3. And then we expose... Let's see, we've got another zealot there. No zealot because we're 2-player game. Nothing here. Nothing here. But we do have 2 of the giant vipers right there. So as soon as we open, we draw for the giant vipers. We see now, if we've already passed their initiative, which I doubt because we went on a 15, they will not get a turn. But nope, they go on 33, so they will get a turn. And that, I believe, is the Void Warden's turn here. He moved into the room. He killed that guy. That's it for his turn. Let's see what the Demolitionist now is going to do. So we've got a move of 3, and we can push an adjacent enemy. Or we can move 2, which just barely gets us in the door here. I think we're going to have to move the 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then attack 3, we can attack an adjacent, but we don't have any adjacent bad guys. Nobody's next to us. So I think that kind of wraps up, unfortunately, our hero's turn. The giant vipers are actually going to go next. They're in play. And then our lone zealot will go. This could get messy. So they're going to move. They have a +1 to move. Ouch. They have a base move of 2, and they have jump. So they're going to kind of disregard the terrain here. 3 move. 1, 2. That gets us Void Warden here. 1. No, he's not. He's going to avoid the traps. He's not going to purposely go and spring a trap. So we'll go 1, we'll go 2, and we'll go 3. So just out of range, I feel like that is the obvious move. Makes the most sense. And then they're going to attack for a +0, but target 2. Oof. Now, I believe I did the target rule wrong on the last one. Hold on a second while I double check that rule. Alright, thanks for bearing with me. So right, I did previously used the target rule against the same character, but you cannot use the same character. So if he was adjacent to two characters, he could target two separate characters, but you cannot target the same character twice unless specifically mentioned. It is not specifically mentioned, so this will be one attack against the Void Warden. However, he does have poison, so unless he just absolutely misses, the Void Warden will be poisoned here. Fingers crossed, a miss would be ideal. So this is for 1 damage. Alright, +0, 1 damage, but the Void Warden is poisoned. So that takes the Void Warden down to 5. And that does unfortunately give him poison. Oof, that's not great. He's going to take 1 damage until healed. Ouch. Alright, so that is the Viper's turn. Let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the Zealot. So it is an attack 1 at a +1 at a range of 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Luckily, we're all out of range here, so that works for us. He's not going to move. So he's just going to hang back. Fingers crossed. That was great. That could have been much worse than it was, looking at it now. Alright, so next turn, we are down to our last 2 action cards before we have to rest. Let's see, what do we want to do? Well, we definitely want to take care of that poison before it does too much damage. Okay. Alright. I think we're going to go on a 67. This should be pretty fun. We'll get to him in a second. And as far as the Demolitionist, well, we'll go on a 66 because that's the best option here that we have between a 66 and a 77. We'll go on a 66. This could get spicy. We're not going to be high on the initiative this round. Let's see what our bad guys are going to do. 43 and a 77. Okay. So the Zealot's going to go last. The Vipers are going to go first. Ouch. Okay, so they're going to move. They're going to move +1, and they're going to target all adjacent enemies. So I think, this Viper is going to move here because they have a base move of 2. That's 3, and they're going to have jump. And I really think this Viper is going to go here to get within, to kind of flank us, to get in the rear of us. That's well within his move distance. We're also going to attack at a -1 and target all adjacent enemies. So this is doing no damage, but it is going to poison us. A Toxic Frenzy. Unless they draw a plus modifier. So the way that I'm going to treat this is, as each hit draws its own separate modifier. So we'll go with the Viper 3 against the Demolitionist here. Okay, so no damage. However, he is now poisoned. This might actually work out better for us, being as the Void Warden hasn't healed himself yet, and he can't get poisoned again. So we'll go Viper 3 against the Void Warden. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Well, okay, that's fine though. It's -1 attack. So 0 damage, 0 times 2 is still 0. So that actually works out fine. We'll reshuffle all of these. And you can't get poisoned twice. So that works out fine. So really the only things that we need to stay away from are the plus damage cards. The +2s will actually do more than the double damages. Alright. So that was both swings by Viper number 3. Viper number 1, -1. and 0. Okay, so no damage to our heroes here, but they are both poisoned. Not ideal, but that's okay. We can work with that. The Demolitionist is actually going to go first. And I think actually we need to actually re-pull those because, okay, once the poison hits, it negates the -1 because they're at +1 attack. Interesting. So after taking a closer look at the poison mechanic, I think we may have miffed it a little bit. So the way that poison works, it gains you +1 attack. So they were starting out at a -1 attack, which put them at 0. However, once we were poisoned, we got we negated that -1, so that gains their +1 back, or their 1 damage. Now, I think it ends up being that the Void Warden would have taken 1 damage on the +0 that we drew. So we're going to go down to a 4. And I think that should put us right. We got to keep in mind the poison. I have a habit of confusing poison and wound. Poison adds a +1 for attack. The first attack would have poisoned the Demolitionist, no damage. Okay, so I think we're okay now. We drew a ×2. 2 times. Okay, so I think actually, no, the Demolitionist would have also taken a couple damage because they're at 5. That ×2 would have actually mattered. Okay. I think we're good now. That'll be some creative editing, but sum it up, we're both poisoned. Demolition is at 5 health. Void Warden is at 4. It is now the Demolitionist's turn. Demolitionist did not like that at all. He doesn't enjoy being poisoned. Oof. Okay. How much health do these Vipers have? These Vipers only have 3 health. They're not very strong. We're going to do... We're going to do the wind-up. I think that's what we're going to do with the Demolitionist here. We're going to do the wind-up. And what that is, on your next 2 attacks, you add a +2. At the end of it, we will gain an experience, right? So we will do that. We will use this bottom card to attack 1, and then we'll add 2 and make that a 3. So we're attacking for 3 against, we'll go with this top snake, this top Viper here. Viper number 3. And then if we kill him, we will loot. Fingers crossed. Okay, so this is for 3 damage. We just really need to avoid a negative here. 2 times. Bada boom. Big numbers. 6 damage. He's out. Okay, he's out. He drops the coin, and then we loot said coin. All right, so we have used 1 of our 2 attacks that we get to add a +2 for. Perfect. All right, now we can shuffle these guys. This guy goes in the discard here. So yeah, we got that 2 times damage. So now we do a quick shuffle here on the modifiers deck. Still got those curses mixed in there. Don't love that. I'm sure that'll rear its head at the most inopportune time. And then for the Void Warden, all right. So our buddy's taking care of 1. We are going to heal 2. So we're going to heal ourselves. This prevents healing removed when healed. So we don't recover any HP. We just get to get rid of the poison, thankfully. And then we are going to force the target to move 2. Well, first we're going to disarm him. So this guy cannot attack until the end of its next turn. But the most important thing is we are going to get him to move 2. 1, and 2. We're going to move him right into the trap. 3 damage. Ouch. That works for us. He's out of there. That's nice. And we weren't going through any difficult terrain. At that point, I feel like he was an ally. We're controlling the damage, so we're going to allow him to move through us. And that's the way I'm treating it. You know, if you don't agree, hey, that's fine. But it makes sense to me. If I get to control where he moves, he should be able to move through me. He is going to drop a coin, though, so that's good. All right, so we've taken care of both of our Vipers. Unfortunately, our Demolitionist is still poisoned, so all the attacks against him are going to gain +1. So that won't be ideal, but at least we took care of our Vipers. Oh, wrong stack. So the next is going to be our Zealot. So he is going to move at a -1. He has a 2, so he's only going to move 1. It takes 2 move actions to move in a difficult terrain. So I don't think he's going to be able to do that, and he can't move through the obstructions here without destroying them. So I don't think he's going to do that either. He's going to attack at a -1, but he's not going to be adjacent. And again, he can't move without passing through difficult terrain. So I really honestly think he's stuck. If he didn't have that -1 modifier up there to his move, it'd be different. So yeah, I think that is the end of this round. Oh, I'm glad we took care of those Vipers. We have to now take a rest. So we have to decide if we want to take a short rest or long rest. Long rest were introduced this scenario. Essentially what that means is we would pretty much skip our turn. However, the enemies would still get to go. Benefit is we get to pick which card we discard versus it being at random. So I'll shuffle up our action cards. We'll decide if we want to do a short rest or long rest, and we'll be right back. All right, I went ahead and decided to do a long rest for our heroes. So I selected the cards that we're going to lose. I think there'll be least... Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so I went ahead and decided... All right, we're back. I went ahead and decided that we should probably do a long rest. I went and selected the cards that we were going to lose, and I felt like they were kind of the least impactful based on our scenario here. Now, because of that, however, the bad guy here, the remaining Zealot in the room, is going to get to move while we're resting over here on this other side of this difficult terrain. So let's find out what he's going to do while we're resting. Okay. He's going to move +0, so that means he's going to have 2 moves, 2 move actions. He's going to move into difficult terrain, but he can't move out of it. That uses both of his move. And he's attacking into -1 with a curse. Okay, so he's not adjacent to any of us, but he did get a little bit closer to us. That actually might help us out a little bit. And definitely will play a factor when selecting our move actions or our hero actions. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now based on his move, and then I'll be right back. All right. Here we are. I've selected our next action cards for our heroes. Let's see what our lone Zealot is going to do. See what he's going to act on. So he's going to go on 27. That is more than either of our 2 heroes, so he's going to go first. First thing he's going to do is heal. Well, he isn't taking any damage. Can't do that. He would move. However, he's doing a ranged attack, so I don't think he would move, so that way he's not at a disadvantage. Range of 2, attack at a -1, so that's going to be 1 damage to the closest guy, who's Martini here, our Demolitionist, who is still poisoned, so he's going to gain a +1 of attack. So that's a standard 2 damage, 2 Martini. Here it goes. 3 damage. Okay. Not great. 3 damage, 2 Martini. That puts Martini down to 2 health here. Ouch. That sucked. Not as much as it could have, though. Let's wrap this up and take care of business so we can move on to the next room. Try and heal up a little bit before we do. All right. First off, Martini's going to go. He is going to move, get within range here, and he's going to punch this guy right in the face. He's going to do an attack of 3. However, we got this guy plus 2 to attack. So that's a 5 damage. We need big numbers. He's got 6 health. Come on. Come on. Remember what we said a little bit ago. Most inopportune time. Alright. Plus 0. Could have been worse. That's not bad. We'll take it. 5 damage. He's got 1 health left. Number 2 here. He's down to 1. We can do this. Okay. That... Oh, and he did muddle also with that hit. So that's great. He muddled, which will help us on his next turn. Alright, that's it for the Demolitionist. We lose this guy because we've performed both the attacks, but we do gain an experience with the Demolitionist. That is 2 experience. Whoops. 2 experience for him. That's great. Good news. Good news, good news, good news. Okay. Void Warden. What are we going to do? What do we got for the Void Warden? Well, the Void Warden's going to heal for 2 at a range of 3. He's going to go ahead and take the poison off his buddy here, because that was getting old really fast. And then we're going to attack 3 for a range of 3. He's like, no, buddy. You don't get to have all the fun. Let me shoot an arrow, a fireball. Not an arrow, I'm a magician. A fireball at this guy's face. Plus 1, 4 damage. He is deadzos. Alright. So that wraps up this round. We were able to clear the room. So we've got some treasure here, and we need to start moving to the next door. The problem will be how many turns is it going to take to get us to move to the door, being as we've got some difficult terrain here, and it'll kind of impact how many cards that we can lose. So right off the bat, alright, we will move and heal with the Void Warden. And 3, move 4. We'll move. We'll move 4 and yeah, we will use this move and use this attack here. So no bad guys, so we don't have to worry about their initiative. We'll just go. But it is kind of a race to the treasure to see who's going to get it. The Demolitionist and the Steve Martini is going to move 4. 1, he's not going to stop and wait just to pick up coins. 2, 3, and then 4 will get us there. And we have nothing to attack, so that's his turn. The Void Warden is also going to move 4. 1, 2, 3. And you can't occupy the same space. You're kind of in my way there, Martini. But we are going to heal 2 at a range of 2 for a target 2. So we're going to heal each of us for 2. That's going to be super helpful. So that brings Void Warden back up to 6. And brings Martini up to 4. So that gets him a little bit of the way there. Alright, last two. I have a feeling we're going to be stuck doing our... Well... Move 3. Yep. Yeah, we'll just do a move and waste a card. Unfortunately, that's all we can kind of do. Move 3 and then move 3. We'll go on 22 and 23. All right. Still no enemies. Martini is going to move 3 and then waste his attack. So, you know what? I feel like these guys are friends. Martini here, he's ready to get this over with. He wants to find out who's behind it all. He's always been kind of a hothead. So I feel like he's going to be like, hey, I got the treasure last time. You know what? Why don't, hey, pal, grab the treasure. I'm going to go head over to the door here so we can finally figure out what's going on. So he's going to move 3, 1, and then 2, 3 just to get him there. He's not popping the door yet. He's got this difficult terrain to move through. But what I think he is going to do, he is going to drink his healing potion. He's like, I don't know what's behind that door. I'm just not sure. So he's going to drink that healing potion. He's going to heal himself for 3. And that puts him back up to 7. 7 out of 8. Almost a full health. He's got to be ready for whatever lurks behind that door. Void Warden, on the other hand, he is... Or she, actually. They are going to also move 3. 1, 2. Okay, so we'll end our turn here on the treasure. We can't leave treasure behind, but we do have to... We can't go around collecting every coin, obviously. And then that's it. That's all we can do. We had to waste that action card. So now, essentially we need to take another rest before going behind this door. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't take a long rest. Just kind of prepare ourselves. We'll take a long rest. I'll pick the cards that we're going to lose. And then we'll pop this door open and see what's behind it. Right. So here we are, ready to continue with the next round. We have taken our long rest. We've removed a secondary action card. Kind of taken a breath, ready to open this next door, see what's behind it, and let's finish this fight. We went ahead and collected the treasure, so we are ready to move on. We are going to go on a 43 and a 37. The demolitionist Martini here is going to go first, and they're just gonna move 4, 1, and as soon as we open that door, we discover that we have a zealot and a giant viper of the veteran variety waiting for us. The difference with the veteran giant viper, 5 health, main difference instead of the standard 3. So as soon as we open the door, we read the next little bit of text. The smell gets even worse when you finally open the door to the back cabin. More of these robed madmen are performing some sort of incantation over an altar piled high with severed limbs and unidentifiable mounds of flesh. With the flies buzzing and the strange guttural howls all you want to do is get as far away as possible. But you have a job to do, so you commence with the killing. All right. So now that we've opened the door, we need to see what these guys are going to do and what initiative they are going to act on. If they act sooner than a 37, we'll have skipped their turn, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. Actually, these guys went fairly soon. So let's see what they do. 19. Okay, that works. So the Zealot is not going to do anything this round. And the Giant Viper is going to go on an 18. All right, we got really lucky there. That's fantastic. So yeah, we have essentially surprised them. They have missed their turn by drawing an early initiative. And now we get to continue with our move. So we moved 4. I think we're going to go ahead and go into the difficult terrain. So that'll be our last points of movement. And then we're going to do the big one. That's right, the radius attack. It is an attack 3, range of 2. We're going to center it here. Oh no, they're both. We can't get both of them. That's not ideal. Yeah, I don't think any way that we target this, I don't think we're going to get both of them. I was kind of hoping that we would. Yeah, I didn't look at that close enough. That's okay. You know what? You live, you learn. This is what happens. We'll go ahead and target the big bad Viper veteran here with the 5 health. Attack 3. Let's see what happens. And here we go. +1. 4 damage. He has 1 health left. We'll move it from this guy. Viper number 2. 1 health left. Okay, well, you know, I was hoping to kind of get both of the baddies there, but it didn't work out. That's okay. That's all right. Void Warden is next. Oh, not these guys. This guy's here. We're going to move 4. 1, 2, 3. That's about as far as we can go. Range of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, we're not within range of anybody. Yeah, so that's what we can do with the Void Warden. We'll go ahead and discard these guys. Okay, so the Zealots and the Viper is not going to go this turn. We'll start the next round. Let's see what we're going to do. All right, we've selected our actions for the next round. Let's go ahead and see what initiative the bad guys are going to go on. We're going on 22 and 23. 33 for the Viper, so we're going to go before the Viper. And 46 for the Zealot. Okay, so we both get to go first. Both of our heroes get to go first. Martini is going to take the lead. He is going to move 2, 1 and 2, so that way he can pick up that coin. Mine as well is right there. And then one adjacent enemy that is adjacent to the wall will suffer 2 damage. So that's 2 damage to our Zealot. Soften him up just a little bit. Zealot number 3 takes 2 damage. And then for his action, he's going to do the old 1-2 punch. Attack 2. And then a second attack against the same enemy. So against the Zealot here. We're going to draw and muddle if it's against the same target. So he's going to get muddled either way. Let's draw our modifier cards. First attack of 2. -1. That's 1 damage. Second attack, attack 1, no damage. So just 1 damage, but he does get muddled. So he's got 3 damage. And he is muddled. Don't forget about that. And all that does, again, is it just gives him disadvantage on all of his attacks if he makes it to his attack round. We'll still see. He might be able to finish it up. I'm not sure, though. Oh, okay. Our Void Warden was here. I was kind of doing some strategy while I was trying to figure out what we wanted to do here. So the Void Warden is gonna move 3, 1, and then 2, 3 to get into the difficult terrain. So that takes up all of our movement. We are gonna muddle at a range of 3, so we're gonna go ahead and muddle the Viper too. So that way we can make sure it gets disadvantage as well. And then one ally, range 3, 1, 2, 3, may perform an attack 2 at a range of 3. The ally here is going to go ahead and attack the Viper. So we're going to have it turn around, do a range attack against the Viper, so that way it's not a disadvantage trying to attack the Zealot. And the Viper just has 1 health, so we're going to see if we can finish it off. It's doing 2 damage against the 1 health Viper, plus 1. Fantastic. Viper's gone. Whew. That's nice. One less thing we have to worry about. And then that's it for the Void Warden's turn. The Vipers are gone. It is now the Zealot's turn. So the Zealot is going to do an attack plus 1 at a range of 2. Now it's not moving and it's already within within adjacent combat. Well, it's a disadvantage either way, but it is going to try and muddle our demolitionist friend. So that's attack plus 1. It is going to be doing 3 damage, but it's at disadvantage. Oh, we're going to take the miss. We are going to take the miss. Yeah, that's fantastic. We will gladly take the miss. No damage, and because of it being an actual miss, I'm going to treat that as it did not muddle. And I know some people may argue that rule, but to me, if you just absolute whiff on it, then you don't get the status effect either. And that's the way I look at it. All right, so we'll give this a good shuffle. Last round here, hopefully, fingers crossed here. We've only got 2 cards left. We're down to our last 2 actions before we'd have to rest again. Yeah, I'm really hoping that we attack 4. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll just do our standard. We're gonna go on a 68. Move and get an ally to attack. And an attack 3 plus a muddle, and we'll do we don't have to move. Yeah. Okay. We'll go on a 77. A bit of a late start for our heroes here. Let's see what our... Okay, 77 as well. So I'm pretty sure in the case of a tie, the initiative goes to the hero. That's the way I'm almost positive. I will double check before our next scenario, but for now, for the sake of just trying to finish this fight, we'll treat it that way. Now the Zealot is no longer muddled, so we'll take that off. And the Void Warden will go first. We're just going to do our base move action here. So we're going to do a move of 2, just get us a little bit closer. And then one ally within range of 2, 1, 2, can do an attack 4. Allies modifier deck, 4 damage. He's only got 6, so he's got 3 health left. Ooh. Okay, plus 0. We'll take it. 4 damage. He's out of here. We dropped the coin, but that officially meets the win condition of kill all enemies. So therefore, the scenario, it wraps it up. I'm going to go ahead and say, why not? It's my game. I can kind of sort of make the rules. Void Warden here kills the bad guy. As the last turn, just to kind of finish out the round, The demolitionist goes, might as well pick up this one coin before the end of the round. Boom. Dead. Round's over. Okay. That got a little bit sticky there. A little bit for a second, but we powered through it. Definitely was able to heal before we opened this last door. That was nice. Take a little bit of a breather. All right. So let's go ahead and read that scenario. Let's read the conclusion. See what happens. See what we uncover. All right, the conclusion is in the little supplemental text that they provide. Some of the maps get a little bit larger, but here we go, the black ship. It certainly does. Okay. All right, the conclusion here comes in the supplemental text they provide. Some of the scenarios feature some larger maps or some more text. For example, the black ship here, the conclusion is included in the supplemental text. It certainly doesn't give you pleasure sifting through the human remains on the altar, but it does end up proving useful in between the bouts of vomiting. You find a necklace, one Sandy described in detail as never leaving the neck of her husband. With this in hand, you can bring at least some peace to the blacksmith's widow and inform the city guard about this whole situation. Still, you have a sneaking suspicion this isn't the end of the trail. These robed men were certainly all underlings, which means Roland is still out there. One could make the argument that this is the city guard's job, but you search the cabin of the ship anyway and find a curious map. It is crude depiction of the boiler district, and one building is clearly marked. Surely it couldn't hurt to check it out. So the rewards that we gain from completing this scenario, each character gains one check mark. Gains one perk. And we'll cover that before we start our next scenario when we go over our character sheet changes. And then we got the new location, a ritual in stone, which is our next scenario. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me for scenario 3, the black ship of our Jaws of the Lion playthrough. And I hope to look forward next time to scenario 4. Thank you so much.